Hey, everybody. Hope you all are well. Two-part live pertaining to the Menendez brothers and Sean Puffy Combs. I'm also going to bring you an update pertaining to a Florida woman who was sentenced to 25 years in prison for shooting her black neighbor. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $ McGangy129 Cash App, stickers and chats are always welcome during the live stream. Let's get down to business. 1 second, everybody. The Menendez brothers hearing, the resentencing of them will not take place in December. It has been pushed back January 30th and the 31st. So they will get a decision from the new district attorney. The governor is on board with a resentencing of the brothers, but he does not want to override any decision that the new district attorney might want to make. And the new district attorney says he has to weigh all the evidence. There's like 17 boxes of evidence. He is going to weigh this case, the case of the brothers unaliving their parents, as he would any other case. And we will see what happens. There's a very low percentage of murderers being freed after such a heinous type of crime. But the governor seems like he's on board. It's the new district attorney who's just been elected where the issue lies. Now, one could say, well, the governor, he could grant them clemency or whatever, or resentencing, however it goes. Well, he's not pardoning them. He's not letting them go. He's waiting on a decision from the new district attorney. So that's what's going on right now. I'm sure they're disturbed by the news. I'm sure their family wanted them to come home for the holidays. I heard that the aunts attended court today to speak on their behalf. But sadly, December, they won't have the hearing. It will be the end of January of 2025. Here's some new information I found in the queue pertaining to Mr. Lyle. It says Lyle Menendez's wife, Rebecca Sneed, announces their separation after 21 years of marriage. E-News is the source. Very interesting. So now we got to ask, how long have they been separated? And what's the reasoning for the separation? As Lyle Menendez awaits his fate in prison, he's doing so as a single man. The 56-year-old who has been serving a life sentence alongside his brother Eric Menendez for the 1989 murders of their parents and his wife Rebecca Sneed are separated after 21 years of marriage. According to a post shared to Facebook by Rebecca, Lyle and I have been separated for a while now, but remain best friends and family, she wrote on November 22nd on her official Facebook page, as verified by the brother's attorney to NBC News. I continue to run his Facebook pages with input from him, and I am forever committed to the enduring fight for Lyle and Eric's freedom, as has been so evident over the years. Rebecca continued, I'll continue to update you on all the progress of the case because I believe we all have the common goal of seeing the guys walk free. I will never stop fighting for them, quote unquote. Her post also confirmed this is not a cheating scandal. E-News has reached out to contacts for Rebecca and Lyle for comment, but has not yet heard back. The separation news comes just weeks after a personal statement from Lyle included as part of an amended resentencing request memo dated November 7th, obtained by NBC News, reference his and Rebecca's marriage without mentioning a separation. This coming November will be my 20th wedding anniversary, Lyle wrote in the statement. Learning to be a husband and a partner from inside a prison has been challenging. It has also changed my life in so many positive ways, he continued. Her unwavering support and belief in me is something I am most grateful for and has played no small part in my journey to be a better person. E-News is the source of that information. Hello, Pointer Lover. How are you? Hello, Skylar. So we learned, as I said, they will get a decision from the district attorney and the governor of California January 2025. Now we get information from the Facebook page of Miss Sneed, Lyle Menendez's wife, that they are separated and been separated for a while. So what's a while? A couple weeks, a month, two? Naturally, she knows what's going on in his life as far as him trying to get out of prison. He and his brother. Is this the reason why they're separated? So we got to figure out when they were separated. Was it before any talk of them getting out or afterwards? Don't know. That's the latest information. We're not going to run over here and talk about the infamous Sean Puffy Combs. Thank you for joining me. Lord have mercy. What they say in The Beat Goes On, it don't stop pertaining to Sean. I posted something earlier pertaining to him. I said, I am just so sick and tired of hearing his name. Hello, Patty. How are you doing? I'm just so sick and tired of hearing Sean's name. I don't know what to do. I'm just like, I'm over it. I want this to end because the keeping up every day is something new pertaining to he said this and she said this and this person said this and this person brought forward a lawsuit. I mean, you can't even keep up because every day is something new. I'm sick of them. Quite frankly, I'm over this nonsense. All right, let's get a little bit from Law and Crime. We're going to play a little bit of that content for just a little bit. Oh, Skylar, please stop. Stop it.
Was in the courtroom. As she reported, the defense originally wanted Diddy to be held on house arrest at his Star Island mansion in Miami, Florida. But Judge Subramanian shut that down quickly, and it was decided if Diddy was granted bail, he'd be staying in New York, specifically on the Upper East Side in a 3-bedroom apartment. If he's granted this bail, it would be to the tune of $50 million, plus some major restrictions on his house arrest. Inside the apartment, there would be 2 live-in guards and another guard downstairs. Diddy wouldn't be allowed any access to phones or the internet unless it was to contact his legal team. On top of all of that, there would be a vetted list of people approved to visit Diddy, including his legal counsel and his family. Diddy's attorney, Mark Agnifilo, said there was a 0% chance that Diddy would be violent if released, and even called this bail package a very, very rigorous set of conditions, more strict even than at MDC jail. This marks Diddy's 3rd attempt at release since his arrest, but the other requests have been denied by other judges. First, Magistrate Judge Robin Tarnowski denied Diddy bail, highlighting his apparent anger issues and history of substance abuse. She also voiced concern about a danger to the community or witness tampering should Diddy be released. After that, Judge Andrew L. Carter denied Diddy's release too, arguing the proposed bail package was insufficient to guarantee the safety of the community or to maintain the integrity of the case. Throughout all of this, the prosecution has opposed Diddy's release, most recently saying he simply cannot be trusted. There's more to this too. Federal prosecutors alleging Diddy has been working to taint the jury pool from inside of jail. In recent filings, they mentioned Diddy's apparent use of other inmates' phone accounts to both conduct calls with people that were not on his approved list of contacts and to avoid being recorded. Prosecutors say Diddy's working to subvert the jury process using social media too, like a recent birthday post he apparently coordinated from behind bars. Judge Subramanian ruled both sides must submit specific Bureau of Prison forms showing what communication forms Diddy is allowed to use. That paperwork was to be submitted by early Monday afternoon. Judge Subramanian's rulings didn't end there, though, also calling for the prosecution to throw out documents collected during a sweep of Diddy's jail cell. The defense says 19 pages worth of notes with legal materials were collected during this search. Prosecutors argued this sweep was already planned even prior to Diddy's arrest and that no privileged information was collected. That was a win for Diddy.
So do you believe the sweep was planned before Sean was arrested by New York officials? Do you believe that statement? Or they planned it after maybe learning of him using other accounts and whispering in the jail? Did they have a tattleteller that said, hey, he's using other people's accounts to talk to other people? Hell, did one of the guys who loaned out their phones tell on him? Is that the truth, what they're saying? That the sweep was planned before Sean ever entered the jail.
His arrest, and that no privileged information was collected. That was a win for Diddy's team, but will they score another win this week too with his release? Okay, all of you out there multitasking, listen up. If you're out running errands.
No, we're not right now, ma'am. So, sweep of the jail, notes taken. Judge says the prosecutors have to destroy those papers. They cannot use them in the upcoming trial. The information in this trial is basically pertaining to Cassie Ventura, her allegations against Sean Puffy Combs, and the infamous video that was released to the public a few months ago. Sean and his team say prosecutors are behind that tape. They deny releasing it. And I also believe they are blaming the federal government. So who released the tape? Who had access to the tape to release it to CNN News? We have not heard who has released that tape. And then we don't even know how many people had actual copies of it before it ever got released. He's trying to get out of bail. They're saying he will have a guard inside, downstairs to watch and monitor him. But the flip side of that is that the person who has been doing investigative work for him is the director of a firm that worked for, I believe they said, was it Weinstein or Epstein? That's not going to work because this guy's already contacted witnesses on behalf of Sean. So you can't be using your firm to orchestrate the security because you're already invested with Sean Puffy Combs. And I won't doubt there'll be some canoodling and sneaking around, and he'd find his way out of the building, and some other people would find their way in the building into his apartment. I didn't even know he owned an apartment in New York because I hadn't heard anybody talking about it. But obviously he has an apartment. They're talking about a 3-bedroom apartment. Does he own it or is he leasing? I don't know. Do I care? Not really. Because I'm exacerbated with Sean Combs and all these allegations and different people coming out. It's like the clown car that don't stop. The clown car is now a tour bus. It's a tour bus at this point. $50 million bail. He's trying to get a buyer, I'm assuming, for that LA mansion. A real estate mogul has offered $30 million. Don't know if he'll take it. But my thing is, you're a billionaire, allegedly. You should already have $50 million in the bank, $30 million in the bank anyway. How can you be worth a certain amount of money, but you don't have the actual money? So when they put you in the Google search and say, oh, they're worth $1 billion, they're worth 400 million. What's that? 200 million in cash and 200 million in real estate? What are they saying? So what is he actually worth in coins? Sean Puffy Combs. Where are his children living? Are they all now down in Miami living in the same house? Who's running that house? Do the girls go to school? I'm curious about that. Because now they've shown up to court last week and they should be in school. They don't need to be running around the country popping up in court. They need to be in school. If they're still attending school, public schools, private, that's where they need to be. So are the children attending a real public or private school, or are they homeschooled? Who are they actually living with? My understanding, they're living with a friend of their mother's, their late mother. I don't know who the friend is, and I'm all confused about that nonsense as well, because I'm trying to figure out who is really orchestrating these children underage flying about to pop up in New York every time Sean goes to court. That's the latest developments. $50 million bail, that's the package he's offering to the state to free him. Secured guards inside of the home, inside, downstairs, I guess maybe the front desk, I guess. You've been denied twice by 2 different judges. I don't see how this would work. And one recused himself, I believe. Why? I don't know. This is a hot mess. He does not need to be free because he's already using accounts or used accounts by others in the jail. How he did it, I don't know. I didn't even know that he was in general population. So he had to be in general population in order to use their phones and ask to use their accounts. And that's something else I don't understand. Why doesn't he have his own account? He's a billionaire. He doesn't have money to put on commissary. There's nobody to put money on a commissary. Everybody's flying to New York. Well, what are you all using to fly to book airline tickets? So yeah, the same kind of money that you would put on commissary. You get a card, you put money on the card for him to call, collect. But see, he's calling people that's not on the list for him to call. Obviously, they have a protocol here at the jail. People, I guess, can put money on your account, but I guess they also have to have the names of the people that you're talking to. And my understanding from sources via the news, those people aren't on that approved list. That's why he's using other inmates' accounts. And my understanding, he used somebody's account as of what? Yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Information. I'll stand corrected. But it was recently, they said. So even after knowing he had to appear in court for a bail hearing, you're still going to go use somebody else's phone to contact other people, witnesses, naturally. And the prosecutors feel like he's orchestrating his defense from behind closed doors in a dirty way, with having his children postings to social media, wishing him a happy birthday. They've got notes saying he's trying to get one juror. That's his plan. And everybody knows that's true. That's all you need is one juror, exactly, to hang the jury. So allegedly, that's in his notes. So he's been busy using other people's accounts, other cellmates' accounts, reaching out to people that he's not supposed to be talking to, reaching out to people that's not on the itemized list, jail roster list. He's doing what he wants because this is Sean. This is who he is. He's navigated this way free. You could not have thought he was going to abide by rules because he's incarcerated. Hell yeah, he want to talk to the inmates. He want to canoodle. He just better hope don't nobody do nothing to his ass while he in there. Excuse my language. There you have it. It may all be frozen. Well, Patty, I haven't heard that his funds have been frozen, but I have asked that question in the past month. Will a judge seize his personal effects due to these allegations and civil suits? Naturally, if they feel like he gained his monies from racketeering or any type of illegal enterprise, as they are claiming, the state, they can seize his assets, bank accounts. And that will be very bad due to the fact that he has younger children. The grown boys, hey, you got to make your own way. But he has still 2 girls that are underage, if I'm not mistaken, 17. So what's going to happen to these children, the girls? Best thing they need to do is go off to school. Once they're done with their lesson, they've graduated, got their degree, diploma, you need to go to college and get an education, because I don't think you all are going to be able to depend on Sean's money, because truthfully, at any moment, his money could be seized. Exactly. Weigh in, everybody. Let me know. I'm not going to dwell on that, but that's the latest developments. There should be a decision made this week in New York about his bail. Will Sean Combs get a bail? Menendez brothers, they will not get a decision from the new district attorney until January 30th and the 31st of 2025. And Lyle, the older brother, is now separated from his wife. Don't know what that's about. Don't know how long they were separated. Don't know if it has anything to do with him possibly getting out. Is she scared? Did she just get with him years ago to have something to do? She was bored. She was lonely. She did it for attention. Take the polls on my community page, because they are on there. They are on there. Take them. I'm going to read the results here in just a second. Look at Queen. I'm looking at a hot butter damn mess. Susan Lawrence sentenced to 25 years in prison for the murder of her Black neighbor. Weigh in. Only a few of you voted for. 25% says right. 75% says she deserves more time. And I have one comment. Well, obviously I don't see it. Okay. So it was a white lady. She had issues with this Black lady and her children. Don't really know what's the truth, not the truth, with the children walking through the grass or bothering her, making noise outside the apartment. I get it. We all get annoyed because I live in an apartment as well. It's a horrible thing when you have to live in apartments, and you can live in a nice apartment, mid-grade, low income. It don't matter. People are people. We always assume that the nicer the apartment is, the more expensive it is, you're going to assume that people are going to act accordingly. They'll be better behaved people. That's not necessarily the situation. But anywho, these people, they were living in, low line style apartments. And I don't really know what the issue was, but there was a lot of bickering and bantering going on between she and the woman's children. And sadly, on this day, the lady goes to her door, banging on the door. And this lady says that she felt like she was trying to break into her door. She grabbed the handle of the door and she shot through the door, killed the Black lady. And she has now been sentenced to 25 years in penitentiary. Wow, wow, wow. Did they get it right? Was that the right sentence? You think he'll get a bail? Why you say that? Why you think he'll get a bail? Once again, only 4 of you voted. Most of you believe she deserves more time. Lyle Menendez is separated from his wife. Weigh in. She wants or has someone, 0%. Married him out of loneliness, now bored, 22%. Never committed to him, 11%. All of the above, 67%. Okay. Just reading my polls. Got Christmas polls up here. I don't know if I want to talk about that tonight with this content. I might come back right before Thanksgiving and we go over the Christmas polls. But I might do it since I'm kind of early on this live. 22 minutes in, I've discussed all my content. Yeah, I've discussed everything. So basically, most of you believe it's a combination of why she married Lyle and why they're separated. I don't know why they're separated. I have no earthly idea. Because she didn't give a time frame, they said on her Facebook post. I was listening to some interesting information late this morning when I was up. I had a really bad dream last night listening to the interview room. He was talking about Brian Kobayashi. And I dozed off and damn near was a nightmare. I was in the bed. I've had this dream a lot over the years where I am asleep and someone is on top of me, like just weighing me down. And in the dream, I'm actually asleep in the dream, but I could feel somebody like they're jumping over me in the bed. First, I thought it was a cat. So even in my mind, I know I'm dreaming to some degree because I'm saying to myself, do you have a cat? Queen, do you have a cat? Queen, you don't have a cat. So in the dream, there's somebody or something jumping back and forth, back and forth. Finally, I get up because I'm tired of feeling this presence in the bed. And I look down the hallway, and the hallway seemed longer because I got a straight shot out this door, bedroom, to the front door. And there's a woman standing there. Her presence is, I make her presence out. And she's mumbling something. And I'm like, who is this lady? And then finally, she's making it known that she's getting ready to try to hurt me. So I take this door and shut it. And she's running down the hall, pushing her weight, trying to push the door open, like, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. I said to myself, this is exactly what I've been saying about watching this crazy nonsense late night. Don't need to be watching true crime, documentaries about murder, movies about murder, because I watched a movie before I fell asleep called The Ritual Killer. I'm going to share it to my community page. It has Morgan Freeman and oh God, what's that guy's name? I think his last name is Haas, Haus. He's an actor that played in Paparazzi. He's put on a little bit of weight, quite a bit of weight. But I kept looking at his face like, oh, he looks so familiar. It's a crazy movie. This guy overseas is hunting this African man who's out here killing people as, as sacrifices to be stronger. And then people come to him that are wealthy and he kills people for them so they can get more wealth and prestige. It's just a crazy movie, but it's pretty good because it's set overseas, and I think Italy and then Mississippi. Crazy combination. But anyway, it's pretty good. The Ritual Killer. Check it out. I think I watched it on Roku. Yeah, Roku, I think. But back to the interview room. That Kobayashi mess really was getting to me last night when I'm dozing off late this morning. He thinks he was mimicking Ted Bundy. And I haven't heard anybody say that in talking about Brian Kobayashi. And it got me to thinking, maybe he and that other guy who wrote this book are onto something. Because he did study serial killers. He was a criminal justice major. He would have studied serial killers. He met with that one female author once, or he took one of her courses years ago when he was going to college. So that got me to thinking, could it be that there was no particular target? Because naturally he had been to that house. He had been watching those girls. Something ended up getting him to that house to watch the house, probably scrolling social media, saw the girls. He'd see their emblem that they're in a sorority. Because, when you're in a sorority, you'll wear something that has, your emblem on your clothing. And it could have been just a fluke. He saw one of them, saw two of them. Oh, they're pretty. And then the stalking commenced. So that was a very interesting point that we're making in his live stream. That could it be that Kobayashi didn't have a particular target, that he just targeted the girls, the house, because that's where they lived. He was emulating Ted Bundy because it was told in this commentary, Ted Bundy was upset that he was trying to get to some girl on that fateful night, and he ended up just going in that sorority house down in Florida and killing, and battering one of the college girls. So I never heard that Ted was upset that he couldn't get to the girl he wanted. So that's what they're trying to say about Kobayashi, that perhaps he had already been fascinated with murder. He wanted to murder someone. That survey that he put out, they talked about that too, that it was really like he was asking questions to the inmates on what he felt. So that was interesting too. So that survey that he posted, I don't know if they had it on Reddit or whatever, that was really him talking to himself. You know what I'm saying? The questions he's asking the inmates. Hey, how did you feel when you left the house? That's a weird question. How did you feel when you left the house to go murder someone? And then they said he mentioned others. That was an interesting point as well. Well, whoever you're talking to, had they murdered other people or had other people in mind to kill? Or were they only fascinated with the one person? Very interesting. And then I watched this guy named Kato Way Reactions as well. The Kato Way is what I watched after I woke up from the bad dream. Because I watched the interview room stuff first and then fell asleep. And then I woke up and watched this Kato Way Reactions. And it's about Patsy Ramsey and the 911 call. Things he was saying in this commentary from somebody else as well are things I had not heard about the 911 call. This black guy is chopping up the 911 call that Patsy Ramsey made pertaining to John Bonet being missing. And I must say, it's food for thought. because her wording is a bit off. But the thing about life, as he explains in his commentary, that everyone's dialect isn't the same and we all use words differently, such as the word just. Like I use just sometimes when I'm saying it to make a point that I just got up. I probably used it when I was just describing the story. I just got up, turned on the TV, turned on this, saw this, wrote this, read this. But something that was peculiar in the 911 call is when they ask her about, I think, the letter or something. And she said, what? You have to listen to the video. It's because they're reading the transcript from the 911 call. It was weird, her reaction when the dispatcher was asking her questions about the child and how she was describing, the child missing, describing the letter. It's as if it was orchestrated. And many people thought Patsy did this. Many people thought she wrote that letter. But I'll tell you something else that came to me that got me to pondering. Could it be the father had been doing something to the little girl? And he murdered her. And he put her down there. And he wrote that letter. And somehow him and the wife got in cahoots. I don't know. Because a lot of people thought the little boy did it. And they covered for the little boy. But there's something that's still weird. If you just got to listen to the manuscript. They knew she was dead. They knew she was dead before calling 911. Just listening to the manuscript, her wordings, dropping the phone, as this guy was saying. I mean, he's meticulous in his work. I have to give him credit. Who drops a phone and you're calling 911 to say your child's missing? Like he said, she was acting as if somebody else was in the room and they had her attention. I mean, he's good. he's like a mind reader, this black guy. Cato Way reactions. Check it out. It's true. Because when you're on the phone talking to somebody, you can tell when they are distracted. You know why? Because they'll say stuff like, yeah, okay. They're not really you can tell they're not really into the conversation with you. So I'm kind of agreeing with him that perhaps the husband was in the room and they were orchestrating what to say to the dispatcher about JonBenet. And so she couldn't keep up with what the husband's doing and then what she's telling the dispatcher. She drops the line. Wow. Boy, it floored me, I'm telling you. Listen, this late morning between the interview room and that nonsense with Brian Koberger and listening to this stuff about JonBenet, I told myself, golly, you need to give this stuff a rest. Because I had all types of weird dreams. From that first dream, I kept dreaming more crazy stuff I don't even want to repeat on the on the last stream. But it was, I'm telling you, it was just going from crazy to crazy to crazy. The first dream was more, scary, but then the other dreams were about, some guys I know and guys I've dated, and different ones were liking me, just crazy stuff. And I was just like, God, what did you eat? This is just crazy. And I told myself, stop watching this nonsense. That's why you're having all these weird dreams. Yeah, but this JonBenet got me thinking too. They knew she was dead. Now, who killed her? I don't know. What was the motive? I don't know. But I think they knew she was dead. Somebody in that house killed her. And another thing that's strange, if somebody writes a ransom note, wouldn't they take the child? Wouldn't they take the person? They're not going to write the note and then leave. And then there's no point of entry to say somebody broke in. So how did the perpetrator get in there? And that's the one question those Ramseys could not answer. It's how somebody got in there without breaking something, jimmying a door. How'd they get in the basement? It's crazy. And what's even more crazy is thinking a woman killed a little kid. But I've brought you the stats pertaining to children being unalive. At least 500 children are murdered by their parents every year. So that's not a fable. It's actual facts. So it doesn't matter who the people are, how they look, where they come from. If they're wealthy, well off, they're Christian, they're Jewish, they're whatever, it doesn't matter. You don't know people. And I talk about that all the time on this network. You don't know people. Just like you have these two young men who are now middle-aged men, and they're locked up for killing their parents, claiming SA, you're entitled to believe it, not to believe it. Sean Puffy Combs, billionaire, famous person, wealthy, talented producer, but he likes putting his hands on people, drugging people, raping people, men, women, children. So a lot of people didn't know him. Then you have this little girl who was in pageants. She's dead in a basement. Do believe she was touched some type of way. Young girls murdered in a house along with their male friend out in Idaho. Suspect has studied criminology. Data puts him at their house more than one time, more than 5 times. So that shows cause, shows a pattern. You're not just walking by, driving by. You didn't even live in the same town. You lived in a town, a state over, 15 minutes away. Stargazing. You were not stargazing. You were out hunting those kids. And you made your way in there. And I thought about that this morning, too, about that Kobayashi nonsense. I won't doubt that he probably got out of his car at one point when he began stalking the house and the girls. And he probably walked up and down the street. Probably walked up there on that hill where that apartment building sat, looked in the back from the parking lot, get a vantage. I think he did all of that. Because you really can't learn a house by just parking. You're going to have to get out. You're going to have to get out of the house. Out of the car. You're going to have to get out of the car. You're going to have to walk around. You're going to have to play crazy. Act like you're looking for Joe Blow or Susie Q. I could see him even getting a pet and walking by, playing like, he's walking his dog. People are sick. People do crazy things. You see that ruse has been used for children. The guy going into the park, the playground, and asking a little girl, "Hi, have you seen my little dog? My little dog, Roger, I've lost my puppy." And then the kid answers, "No, I haven't seen him." And then he probably starts talking to her. And next thing you know, he grabs her up and kidnaps her. These people are wicked out here. Hello, Gigi. How are you? There's also a new interview with John Ramsey where he asked if Burke saw or heard anything that night. And John says, "I don't know. We never asked him." Weird. Right. I don't know. Well, that would be strange. Why wouldn't you ask your child anything? Well, you're not going to ask if you are the culprit. That's the one thing we've learned about true crime. When people don't do things that's expected, such as, calling 911, how people act when you show up, the authorities are watching you, your behavior. It's because you're guilty. Now, that's an assertion, of course. There have been times that people weren't involved. But the note, I think, rings with many people. Something about the note is not, it's fraudulent. Because I'll tell you something else I meant to mention. The amount on the ransom note was the same amount as Mr. Ramsey's bonus. Now, what human would know that? The only person that would know that is you, your wife, and somebody close to you or a coworker. Nobody would know you got an $80,000 or $120,000 bonus. So how is it? And I found that interesting. And I never knew that until a year or two ago? Somebody was talking about it on YouTube. That the ransom amount was the exact amount he got as a bonus from his job. Now you put that on paper. So who would know that? So that makes the plot thicken. The person knows how much you got, so they're going to ask for that money in exchange for your child, but yet they leave your child. Strangle your child and leave your child, but they did not break into your house. They didn't break a window, a door, nothing. Now make that make sense, because it doesn't. It does not make sense. So I don't know who harmed that little girl, but I believe somebody in that house harmed her. And one or two got in cahoots to cover it up. And that's even more scary, is her being unalived by somebody in her own house, which would be her own family. And then two people get together to set the scene that a stranger did it for a ransom. But yet they don't take the child. That's why it looked like somebody in that house did it. And I'm sure many people in that town were upset, like, how long is this going to go on? Because, this went on and on for years. You still don't have a killer. You still don't have a killer arrested. And I don't know if it's because these people were, pretty decent people, well off, well known in the community. Nobody wanted to assume that these nice looking people with a talented little girl, that they murdered her, or their child murdered her, or some other guest. Because I believe they said they had another relative, a male relative staying with them. So could it be that cousin or nephew that was staying there? I haven't heard much about that guy, which I think that's peculiar as well. And if you say it was a neighbor or somebody from the Christmas party, then they'd have to know you didn't leave your doors unlocked. You got to make it make sense. Who's ruled out, Patty? So what are you saying? You think Mr. Ramsey did it? It was John's older son from first marriage, but he was cleared. Well, I knew it was some boy that was there. Some young guy was there. But my thing is cleared. Cleared how? He was out of town? Where was he? And Patty, what are you speaking of? Well, from the looks of it, looked like everybody was cleared. Nobody's been arrested. But somebody killed that little girl. She didn't kill herself. And when you don't have any breaking and entering, that leaves the people in the house. And that's how I look at it. And then hearing this transcript from the 911 call, her wording is a bit off. Her responses to the dispatcher, and they were asking her about the letter, the note or whatever. I think they asked her about who wrote it or something like that. And she said, what? Very strange. Here's a story I want to bring you all that's very bizarre that I saw earlier. Hold on. This story right here got me just beside myself. Hold on. It's really sad. It'll draw you to tears because now I'm trying to wonder what the hell was going on with the father. He got so depressed because he can't find his daughter. This is so horrible. Hold on. No, they don't have it. Hold on. It's a very sad story. It's not bringing it up. This is weird. I'll have to go to Google search because YouTube don't have it for some reason. That's interesting. You said, oh, not everyone cleared. But the DA did not sign off on the indictment. Said he didn't think the prosecution could win. No, because of those people there in that town. You have people who are like that. They don't believe certain things. That's why a lot of people are walking free now. This is the longest title. I saw this story earlier. I was just stunned. I'm trying to find the latest one they got. Hold on. 2 hours ago. Okay, everybody. What I'm about to play to you is very disturbing news. So beware of the information. Well, it's going to be contaminated if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Update to a story we've been covering for more than a week. As the search continues for the missing woman from Maui, LAPD confirmed that her father died after jumping from a building near LAX this morning, which is less than a mile from where we're standing.
We'll find you, Hannah. We'll find you. We'll bring you home.
Ryan Kobayashi making a promise to find his missing daughter, Hannah Kobayashi. He spoke to NBC4 on Thursday near the Crypto.com arena, while volunteers helped the family pass out flyers for 30-year-old Hannah.
We're just trying to get our boots on the ground to find out what happened.
Ryan had recently flown in from Hawaii to meet family and friends in Los Angeles to help with the search. Hannah landed at LAX from Maui on November 8th. She missed her connecting flight to New York and spent the weekend waiting for another flight. Her family says during that time, she left the airport to visit the Grove and walk around. She missed her connecting flight to New York and spent the weekend waiting for another flight. Her family says during that time, she left the airport to visit the Grove and walk around LA. According to her family, she was last seen on surveillance footage exiting the metro at the Pico station near the Crypto.com arena on November 11th. Hannah's family said they received strange messages from her that day, worried someone was trying to steal her identity and money, and that was the last time they heard from her, leading them to believe she may be in danger.
It's just a nightmare. Every parent's nightmare.
And that was the last time they heard from her, leading them to believe she may be in danger.
It's just.
in the Metro at the Pico station near the Crypto.com arena on November 11th. Hannah's family said they received strange messages from her that day, worried someone was trying to steal her identity and money, and that was the last time they heard from her, leading them to believe she may be in danger.
It's just a nightmare. Every parent's nightmare. You know, it's just crazy. Yeah. We don't know where to start, where to begin, and it's like a grain of sand in the ocean. You know, it's anything. It could be anything possible.
Hannah's father desperate for answers, but telling NBC4 he was hopeful. On Sunday morning around 4, LAPD says Ryan died after jumping off the 7th floor of a parking garage on Century Boulevard near Vicksburg Avenue. He was 58 years old.
Hannah, please come home. Please just come home, you know? Please give us a call. Reach out to anybody, you know?
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking.
NBC News is the source. Please weigh in. Because I am befuddled. She's leaving one part of the country to go to New York, but she don't catch the flight or connect. I don't know. Something's off. And the father kills himself from the 7th floor garage. He makes it to LA to try to, I guess, track her movements. So now let's ask the questions. What was going on with her back home? Does she have mental problems? Is she schizophrenic? Where is she? Is she alive? Where was she going in New York? Who's in New York? What's in New York? Why was she going to New York? So you got to start at the beginning. What was going on with her? Is she mentally disturbed? Was she leaving a bad situation, abusive situation? Did she get along with her parents? You got to ask all those questions, because why would you kill yourself because your child is missing? She's only been missing, what, a week? So you've given up on your kid and say, the hell with it. We can't find her. There's no answers. I'm going to jump off this parking garage. Sweet Jesus. Wow, wow, wow. Hello, Wolf. The dad was estranged, hadn't talked to Hannah for 7 months or so before she went missing. See, that's what I wanted to know. Because what my mind, you know, good old Queen, when Queen gets something in her head, there's usually a reason. And the first thing I said was, did the father do something to his daughter, if you get my drift? Why would he kill himself with his daughter missing? I don't know. Something's not right. Something is not right at all. All the TikTok videos. Hawaii. Trying to get it to play. Hold on. Well, what's the Grove? What's the Grove? Is it a mall or what? An open space? What is it?
Earlier this month, she'd last been seen about to change planes at Los Angeles International Airport. Now her father, who went to LA to search on his own, has been found dead.
It's a tragic and unexpected turn in the mystery of the tourist from Hawaii who went missing in Los Angeles. Her grief-stricken father, who rushed from Hawaii to lead the search for Hana Kobayashi, has killed himself. The LAPD confirms that 58-year-old Ryan Kobayashi ended his life after he jumped from the 7th floor of this parking garage near the airport. Just 7 days ago, Jim Murray spoke with the distraught father and Hannah's aunts.
What do you think happened?
I'm just twisting and turning for the last week about what's going on. It just seems like everything's coming at a blur, and it's just so overwhelming at times. It's just, I wouldn't wish up on anybody.
A statement released on behalf of the family said the Kobayashi family endured a devastating tragedy today. After tirelessly searching throughout Los Angeles for 13 days, Hannah's father tragically took his own life. This loss has compounded the family's suffering immeasurably. We spoke to Hannah's aunt late today.
We just believe that it was all because of a broken heart. He was just a father looking for his daughter, and he just couldn't take it any longer.
Hana Kobayashi missed a connecting flight to New York from LAX on November 9th. Her family became worried after she sent a text saying, "I got tricked into pretty much giving away all my funds." She was seen on surveillance at the Grove Shopping Center on November 10th and remains missing. The interview we conducted with her father is now hauntingly poignant.
Ryan, look, this is every dad's nightmare. How are you doing? What are your concerns?
My only concern right now is just for Hannah's safety.
So sad. If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health issues, you can get help. Just call the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline number.
Well, we might need to try to figure out what's wrong with his daughter. He kills himself only a week later of her missing. Something is not right here. Hell, maybe both of them are mentally ill. What the hell was going on in Hawaii with the daughter? 1 minute you say a tourist. So is she a tourist of Hawaii or not? She lives there, she don't live there. Because they called her a tourist. You call her a tourist just because she just decided to walk around LA? So how long was the layover in LA? Because I don't advise leaving the airport to go walk around a strange city that you're not familiar with. So now you got to ask that question. How long was the layover? Why did she miss the flight? Did her plane get in and then she missed the one that's supposed to take off for New York from Hawaii? So we got Hawaii, A. B, LA. Get to B, plane's already gone. What the hell was going on? Could it be that there's something wrong with this girl, that she's not all there? Because I'm getting a feeling that perhaps there's something not right with her. You know why? Because you're going to leave a major airport to walk around a city and do what exactly? And then she sends a text, "I think somebody tricked me into spending all my money." So what is really going on here? Because I got a bad feeling about everybody right now. Because what did I keep telling you? You don't know people. These people are just spinning us a version. And I'm not trying to be critical, but God knows we've seen this a few times in life, that what sounds like something, it ain't. Well, it looked like it ain't. So we got to know who she is. We got to know who the father is. We got to know where's her mother. We got to know what the hell was going on. Why are you leaving a major airport? LA is not a place you want to be just walking around if you're not familiar, even though people do, go there to visit for vacation. But you get what I'm saying. We got to know who she is and what she was into. Who did she hook up with? Why are you walking off with strange people that you don't know? How did they take you? How did they take your money? Did somebody try to do the pigeon drop on her? Hey, you got this much. I'll give you this back in return. Hey, Queen know all about that. These old dusty men that be on that old date site, the old African men, always trying to get in your inbox, talking about, "Oh, you give me 2,000 and you'll get 6 back." No, I won't. No, I won't. I give you my 2 and you are gone. And anybody with sense knows you don't ever give money to get money back. The only time you do that is when you're dealing with stocks and bonds. You're hoping for a return. Okay? You're hoping. More like you're praying for a return. Does not mean you're going to get back what you anticipate. Something off here. Something very off. What I don't get is they said she was at the airport for a few days, but layover was 30 minutes between flights. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Make it make sense. That's why I said, how long was the layover? To where I'm going to get up and walk out the airport with my carry-on bags or whatever. So you got to ask that. What did she carry? What did she carry onto the plane from Hawaii? Carry-on bag, suitcase, carry-on bag? Are we talking about somebody who's probably mentally ill? Somebody who's escaping their life, lied. Had no plans to go to New York. Just told her family that. Already had somebody waiting on her in LA at the Grove. And she's making up stuff about being hoodwinked and bamboozled. Are we going to find out she's somewhere in LA laid up? And ain't nothing wrong and she ain't hurt, she ain't dead. I don't know. Woo! This is a doozy. Very bizarre. Very, very bizarre. Now, who is this messaging me? Weigh in, everybody. I think they said her boyfriend was also on a flight, but I don't know how much about that. Yeah, because people start making up stuff, because this is exactly what they do. You don't know what's the truth. Let me see if I can find anything else. Ryan Kobayashi had spent 13 days looking for daughter Hannah. So that's almost 2 weeks. 2 weeks, that's a long time. Thought it was a week. 13 days. Who vanished after she missed a connecting flight to New York on November 8th. A nonprofit working with the family told KTLA News. His body was found at about 4 a.m. Sunday in what authorities believe was an apparent suicide. NBC Los Angeles reported. This loss has compounded the family's suffering immeasurably. A nonprofit working with the family to find Hannah told KTLA in a statement. The group urged the public to continue searching for Hannah while the family grieves the loss of its pillar. Hannah Kobayashi was scheduled to fly from Hawaii to New York to visit her aunt upstate, but instead of catching her connecting flight, In Los Angeles, surveillance footage showed her leaving the airport and taking the metro downtown. The next day, she was spotted on a TikTok video at the Grove Shopping Center. And then she sent a Venmo payment to 2 unknown people, according to KTLA. So who are those 2 people she sent money to? This is crazy. On November 11th, her mother texted her and asked if she made it to New York. So now that's 8, 9, 10. 3 days later, the mother is texting her, asking did she make it. She wrote back saying no and sent messages to friends saying she didn't feel safe and that someone was trying to steal her money and identity. I got tricked pretty much into giving away all my funds from someone I thought I loved, she wrote. Other messages didn't sound like her, using words like hun that she never used. A photo was posted to her Instagram on November 11th, but nobody has heard from her since, her family said. So the photo that was posted on the 11th, which would have been 3 days later, is it of her taking a selfie or someone standing taking the picture of her? So the last time anyone has heard from her is November 11th. Ryan Kobayashi represented the family in media interviews as they search for Hannah. We're just hoping that she's safe, healthy, and alive, he said earlier this month. And if anybody knows anything, we just really appreciate any kind of help. If you or a loved one are struggling with suicidal thoughts, please reach out to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline by dialing or texting 988. So on the 11th, her mother texted her and asked her how she made it to New York. She wrote back no and sent messages to friends saying she didn't feel safe and that someone was trying to steal her money and identity. What a mystery. Where is this young lady? What is going on with her? Using terminology that she would not normally use. Was she misled by someone? Because now we're talking about 2 Venmo payments. Boyfriend, you're talking about a boyfriend supposed to fly out. Don't know if that's true. She's texting, using words she don't use. Somebody's trying to take her money. Missed her flight. What's this all a ruse? That's what I'm trying to break down. Are we talking about a girl who's trying to escape her life and she don't want to have anything to do with the people from Hawaii? So she's made up this story about going to New York to get away, but she had no plans on going to New York. Or she went to LA to meet somebody and they have harmed her and stolen her money. What is the last documentation on her debit card, Cash App cards, or whatever? We wait to see. Oh, I haven't heard. Well, what you always have to remember, every article has something different because different people talk to different news entities. So one may say this to them and somebody says something to somebody else. I know. That's why I said, could it be she's mentally disturbed? She's off. She's just wandering around. And if she's schizophrenic, she has a real problem because she is glutton for punishment. If she's schizophrenic, alternate personality, she's doomed. Because all it takes, you get in the wrong company, she gets to talking, and she's not making any sense. This will be the perfect opportunity for a grifter sadist to harm her, steal her money, dispose of her, and keep it moving. This is why mentally ill people don't need to be walking around. Not saying that she is, just saying if. LA is not a place you need to be walking around and you're disturbed. You got a pocket full of money. Frankly, you can get gone anywhere. Small town USA, don't matter. All you got to do is get in the wrong company. God, that was something crazy I saw last night. That's all I was watching. Back to back crazy nonsense late this morning because I'm a night owl, so I stay up late. Story out of Alaska. May bring you that story this week. Girl's incarcerated. She decided to speak to court TV to give her version of what happened to her killing her friend out in the wilderness. It's wicked. It's wicked. That girl was mentally challenged, the girl who ended up getting murdered. Led by her so-called friend. Her and some other guys took her out and shot her in the head because the girl said she slept with the same guy she was sleeping with. And she's also allegedly being catfish manipulated by some guy on the internet to kill somebody. It's a bunch of bull. Check out that content. It's on Court TV. Matter of fact, I'm going to share it now to my community page for those who are interested in watching it, because you're going to be befuddled watching that as well. Someone tried to steal her identity. I was definitely intercepted. Who was intercepted? Who are you speaking of? What are you saying? These stories get worse and worse by the minute. Can't keep up. I'm going to watch some reality TV when I get off this live because I need it bad. I refuse to watch any more true crime. And I'm going to start cutting this TV off as soon as my eyes get heavy. I've had enough of this nonsense. Also, that white lady that shot her biracial children in Kentucky, she's been sentenced to prison for murdering her boy children. Thank the Lord. Crazy nut. Catfishing for Murder is the name of the show. I'm going to share it now to my community page. Feel free to watch it after this live stream. I don't think she has any remorse for killing her friend. Her talking to court TV was just something to do. The people at the jail, the prison told her, don't talk to anybody. Don't talk about what happened, blah, 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 because they're locked up and they know better. They know you're lying. Don't waste those people's time by making up stuff and trying to put it off on that guy you met on the internet and your friends. You orchestrated that hit on that girl and you were there. So going to court TV trying to say, well, I didn't shoot her. Well, he shot her with your gun. The hell you saying? It's crazy nut. That story got to me too this morning. That's why I told myself, maybe I need to quit talking about true crime altogether. Don't talk about nothing. Don't talk about nothing. Because these stories are horrible. This story is horrible. The girl missing, that's horrible. This crazy girl killing her friend, her mentally disabled friend, that's horrible. This woman killing her 2 little boys, horrible. These people are crazy out here. Yeah, I'll play a little bit of it. Let me see. Hold on. So stories that I don't talk about, I still share their content to my community page in case you're interested. Viewer discretion is advised.
I didn't actually think we were going to kill her. But when she started freaking out, saying she's gonna go to the cops and everything else, that's when he shot her, I was just like, well, problem solved.
Wow, that sounds really
I know,
heartless.
but at the time, that's what I was thinking. Problem solved.
It was a murder made for modern times, dubbed the catfishing murder.
A teenager in Anchorage, Alaska, has been charged with killing her best friend.
It all began with a bizarre online catfishing scheme.
Darren Schillmiller posed as a millionaire online, offering $9 million to, quote, rape and murder someone in Alaska.
So he was a good catfisher.
He was a good catfisher. I mean, there's one thing I'll give him props for. I mean, he got me, so he's a good catfisher.
A brutal crime concocted on the internet that landed one teenage girl in prison for life and another in an early grave.
It's just like the wolf eating the lambs was slaughtered. That kid took that gun and shot my niece in the back of the head. And then my niece was still breathing, kicked her into the river.
You chose the victim.
Yeah, she needed payback for what she did. Was like
Payback with her life.
No, that's on me.
In your own words, you become a mastermind of plots to murder and sexually assault. Is that fair?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it.
Streaming live telling this. All right, honey. See you, Patty. Check it out, Court TV. Does she have remorse? She did this interview to say that people got it wrong, the news got it wrong. There were things that happened that people don't know what happened, and they hyped the situation up more than what actually happened per her version now. But basically, when you listen to the interview, she's all over the place. She always saying, but I ain't lying and this, that, and the other. Yeah, you lying. You just don't want to admit that you orchestrated a hit on a mentally disabled person, a person who you call your friend. You want to get your ass out of jail eventually, prison. And you say that out your own words. Yeah, I don't need to get out tomorrow, but I feel like I've changed. Well, you're contradicting yourself. Because if you feel like you've changed, then you would want to get out tomorrow. Maybe 40 years or so. No. You might get lucky. 40 years from now, they'll let you out. You'll be an older person. Then you might not. But I don't think you have changed in prison. Because that's something a lot of people say when they're locked up. I've changed. You can't change in prison. Because you're not out here navigating to deal with people, which is what got you locked up in the first place. It's called free will. You had free will while free. And you couldn't do that. So you go get locked up and then you say 5 years down the road, oh, I've changed. How have you changed? You're dealing with inmates. You're not out here paying bills. You're not going to school. You don't drive a car. You don't have to pay car insurance. You don't do shit. You don't do anything that requires you to navigate and think and try to rationale how to deal with emotions. So you have not changed. Change is when you're free, not incarcerated. I'm not saying you can't have regrets. Hell, might even have remorse locked up. But the change comes out here while you're free. And you don't have that luxury because you're incarcerated. And sadly, if you got out, I don't know that you wouldn't do it again. Because you lived a life on the street. You were on drugs. You were selling drugs. You were prostituting. You're doing everything. And what's weird about this story, hold your hat. She witnessed her sister murdered as a young toddler, which I can't believe she had the memory of too. But she witnessed her sister being murdered by the mom's boyfriend. So then she ended up going into foster care adoption. So then we got to ask ourselves, how do you go from foster care adoption to this monster here? Stay woke. What was she doing running around the street at 17 to get in this life of prostitution, drugs, carrying a gun because, for safety, let her tell the host, and then get caught up with a catfisher online who was sending her money, and then he weaned her into child pornography, and then this murder. Pay attention. Oh, and that guy, the catfisher, who she's been talking to a long time on the internet or however long, he got life in prison too for that child porn. You damn right. No slap on the wrist. And I can't remember what the other kids got that helped her lure the girl out to the wilderness. It's just ridiculous. These kids, these young people, it's something wrong with them. But then you go up the ladder to the people that's my age, they're just as damn crazy. Such as this 45-year-old man who left his wife and his kid. I brought you that content last night. American officials, come on back. Come on back. Come on back. It's Thanksgiving. He don't care about no Thanksgiving. He just cashed out a $375,000 life insurance policy. Police. He has left his family. He is gone. He is in Europe living his so-called best life with his new sugar pie. Let it go. The wife is going to have to accept her husband is a fraud. They've probably had problems for years. I don't know. The point is, he's a liar. He's deceived his wife and children. He faked his death, so he thought he didn't do a good job. He has uploaded a video to law enforcement. He has spoken with law enforcement here in the United States, in Wisconsin, so they know that he is alive. He has made a video. Hey, I'm alive. Hey, I'm in my apartment. But I'm not coming back. And the police are trying to appeal to him to come back. Hell no, he ain't coming back. Come back to what? Come back to what exactly? That wife would never feel safe with him. She would never want him to get out of her eyesight. She would think, he'd say, I'm going to the grocery store. You want something back? She'd say, are you coming back? Come on now. Exactly, Heidi. So they can arrest him. Now, I don't know if they've decided what charges they can bring, because I think that's up in the air, what he could be charged with. But if they can prove any type of fraud, the money that he cashed out, was the wife's name also on the policy? Because now we got to ask that question. He cashed it, so that means if her name wasn't on it, then nobody had to call her and ask, hey, we just want to let you know he's cashing this policy. Did he steal any money out the bank account? Well, somebody will say that's not theft. If both of their names are on the account, you can go in the account, take what you want out. So where there would be fraud would be, you're not dead, and we use resources trying to find you, and we want that money. So this is just a white version of Justice Smollett. They were wearing MAGA hats. They put a noose around my neck. Instead, we have a guy pretending he fell off a kayak into the icy lake. Lord have mercy. Or warm lake, excuse me. I give up. I give up. This world is gone. Why not just tell your wife you're not happy? Hey, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be married. I don't want to be in this relationship. I don't want to pay bills anymore. I don't want to go to Little League. I'm tired of carrying around soccer balls. I get it. People become overwhelmed. And, I'm going to be truthful. I'm going to go ahead and share, because you all know I do. Welcome to the Vault XL. I'm going to get a little bit off topic. And then I'm going to check out of here, because I got some Married to Medicine I want to watch tonight, baby. Lord, God, forgive me for what I'm going to say. I know, Juju. I'm not an obligated person. Okay? I'm not an obligated person. I have a free range to move on the earth as I see fit. As you hear in the background, nothing. There's no cat, there's no dog, there's no relatives bothering me, needing something, children bothering me. There's nothing. Because I chose this life for me, Angela. May not be the best life, may not be the most exciting life, but it's my life. And there are days, probably more than often, I can't relate to people who are obligated all the damn time. And I try not to comment as not to seem insensitive because I'd end up arguing with a motherfucker about my opinion. So I don't say nothing. They'll say, what, Queen? Don't say nothing. Hell no. But I don't know what it's like to be obligated all the time. And that's why I love my freedom to roam, because I don't have these problems. And I've said this many times on the network. I don't have the problems that most people have. All the crying and moaning I hear from people, and the complaining about this, the complaining about the mother, the father, the brother, the butcher, the bank calling this. I ain't got those problems, and I'm glad. I don't want them. I'm a single 53-year-old woman wanting to date, mate. That's it. That's it. I even thought about recently getting a damn dog, and I said, hell no. Hell no. Because you wouldn't even be able to do the live stream for the dog sitting there looking. He want to get up. He want to play. He want to walk. He might want to, hell, play in my damn wigs. I don't know. Then I can't do that right. So I said, that's okay. He got to go to the bathroom. We don't want to end up on an episode of Hoarders. The dog needs to go pee and do the other. And I was thinking to myself, listening to someone talk about somebody needing to leave their dog with somebody. First thing I thought was, but you ain't got a dog. You ain't got a dog. Do you all think about that when you get dogs? Oh, I got to go out of town. Oh, I got to go over here. Oh, I got to take a trip. You can't take your dog with you. Do you think about leaving your dog with somebody? Somebody's got to take care of your damn dog. Well, same thing with children. Just saying. I'm not obligated to nothing. And I like it. I love it. Every time I talk to people, they got a story about something. Hey, you want to go here? You want to do this? No, I ain't got no babysitter. Oh, I got a meeting. I got a business thing. I got to go do this. I got to go do that. I'm unobligated. That's just the way it is. So I try to empathize with this human who has done something really dirty. He possibly became fed up with his life. And there's nothing wrong with getting fed up with your life, because you can't tell people how to feel in here. Okay? People get tired all the time. They're tired of being parents. They're tired of being the butcher, the baker. They're tired of being the breadwinner. They're tired of, carrying people around to soccer, ballet. Hell, it's expensive. That's why I don't understand why everybody's out here having all these damn kids. Your kids are going to want to do something. They're going to want to play in the band. They're going to want to play the flute, the guitar. They're going to play football. That shit costs. It's not free. You got to pay fees. They have to pay fees. So you sit up here with 4 or 5 kids. 4 or 5 kids want to play soccer, football, little league. Take a trip. Got to go to the Walmart to get pencils, paper, project paper. Do you all see where I'm going with this? I can see how a person would get overwhelmed. Somebody's needing something all the time from you. Mommy, mommy, mommy. Daddy, daddy, daddy. That's why men don't like when women complain when they walk in the house. I get it. He walks in, he's tired, he's had a long day. Here you go. Oh my God, the dishwasher broke, and little Tommy got in trouble, and he's got suspended, and Susie, she's not acting right. She's slamming her door. The husband is looking like, fuck that, something out of here. I get it. You get fed up. I'm single and I'm fed up. So I can't imagine being obligated with a family and, carpooling and this and that. I couldn't do it because I know Queen. I get flustered quick. If I do too much, seriously, I get headaches. My head will start hurting. It's almost like that chewing bubble gum and talking and smoking a cigarette at the same time. Queen ain't trying to do all that. One thing at a time. That's why you have to know your limit. And you can sign up for something and assume, hope, pray, this is what you want. But when you get there on the journey, you realize, I ain't liking this too well. So I don't know his plight, his journey. I don't know the wife's journey. I throw out scenarios, but I don't know this man. All I know is what he has done is devastating to a woman and her children. I don't know if he had a bad wife, a horrible wife. I don't know. I'm not here to pass the blame. I'm just saying the road he took, he should have just told his wife, I'm not happy. I'm falling in love. I don't want to be a father anymore. I'm sorry. I apologize. Because in the end, she can respect him. She don't have to like his decision. But she can say, well, he came to me and said he's not happy. He don't want to be a father. Because either way, it's a coward's way out. If he walked out and told her, hey, I'm done. I don't want to be a kid. I don't want to take these kids no more nowhere. I don't want to be around them. I don't want to be around you. I'm going to send you the papers. I'll pay the child support, but I ain't picking them kids up. They ain't spending the night with me. Sorry, not sorry. He still will be deemed a loser. Somebody will say, damn, you married her. Okay, now you want to be a father either? You want to leave her, raising these kids without a dad? So he's doomed either way. He's doomed by pretending to fake his death. He's doomed if he left her and didn't provide for the children or moved in, whatever he decided to do and didn't want to, participate in raising the children. He still will be deemed a loser. But the thing about that is, listen carefully. I can be that loser over in Europe because you can't see me and I ain't got to hear the bullshit. I ain't got to bump into people at the Walmart, the Costco, and they're pointing their finger. They're going to laugh at you. They're going to laugh at you. Hey, you left your wife. Hey, you left your kids. How could you do that? Blah, 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 blah. He went to Europe. He knows he ain't going to never hear nothing else from nobody. Get off of Facebook, IG. I don't give a damn. They can talk about me all they want on YouTube. Ta-da! I don't care. I can't hear you. Check out. That's what he did. He was probably trying to get out of paying child support and spouse support, probably. I pray he doesn't come home after he blows through the money. Well, Heidi, come home to what? Come home to people watching you, ostracizing you, looking at you crazy, realizing I don't know this guy from a can of paint. Because that's the one thing you have to remember about this type of fraud. It's that, let's say he didn't run off to be with this woman. He still will have to walk around, bump into people at some point. Possibly why he's over there. He don't want to bump into anybody. He don't have to bump into anybody. I don't have to bump into anybody, here in America, Wisconsin. I don't know anybody in Europe except for this chick I'm tangled up with. And what did I say in that last live last night? Please check it out because it's good. Are you all listening? Get closer. Get closer. What if she's a grifter? Oh. What if this lady's a grifter and she met him online and she reeled him in? He laid on his war story. She, like a sad puppy, but she's out to take his ass down. That's why I said, just imagine all he's done to get over there and his ass goes missing over there. So imagine if he had did this foolproof. Nobody knew. Everybody thought he's at the bottom of that lake. And he's over there. And he ends up dead over there because she kills him and steals his damn money. Because she now knows he got the money. It's all over the news. You got $375,000? Woo! That's good money over here in Europe. Hell yeah. Give Queen $375,000 and see what she do with it. Baby, everything is paid in full. Did you hear what I just said? Everything is paid in full. I ain't owing nobody nothing. I'm not owing you nothing. You give me $375 tax-free, bruh. Oh my goodness. I'm going to have everything paid in full. Nobody will be sending me a note through that phone or mail. Your credit card bill is late. You ain't owing you nothing. Because I'm going to make that $375 stretch. Did you hear what I said? Because when you've been without, you know how to do without. So you get that kind of money, you cannot let it go to your head. You make that damn $375,000 stretch, whatever lump sum you got, make it work. He's in a foreign country, hire to live over there. Although he has American money, but you still got to eat, still got to live. He don't really know this lady, don't know how long he's been talking to her, don't know how he met her. I'm assuming online, but that's my point. We do have women grifters who are American and foreigners, and for all we know, she was on the grift when she met him. I don't know what story he told her, but he's over there now. He better watch his damn back. He cashed out the life insurance policy. Well, you can cash out your life insurance policy. There's no crime in that, from my understanding. You can't cash it out without them giving you the money. It's in your policy that you can cash out your policy. When, that's why I said, I asked all those questions last night during the live. How long did he have the policy? Was her name on the policy? Did he work? Did she work? What type of work did both of them do? Did he steal any money from the bank account? Did they have an account with both their names on it? I asked all those questions. Because what's going to be even more disturbing, besides him cashing out the $375,000 life insurance policy, if he took money from their account and left her with nothing, she's fucked. She's definitely got to crawl. And she has children to take care of. It's not to say she won't make it. People will probably be very kind to her in Wisconsin. She'll probably set up a GoFundMe page. If he took money out their bank account, people will probably set up money to give to her to make sure she gets on her feet, pay her mortgage or get another house, a home or condo. We do have very kind people here in the United States. We are a giving country when we want to be. And hopefully she'll file for divorce, for abandonment. She's got the proof now. She probably can get a very speedy divorce. It won't take long. because he's gone and left her. So she probably can get a divorce like right now. Ink is probably still wet if she's already filed. And then move on with her life and just pray that if she decides to date again, marry again, she don't get this lump of clay, a repeat of what she was married to. And then also we have to pray for her children, because I don't know what she's told them. I don't know how they're adjusting, and this would have to be hard for them. We also know that other children can be very cruel, and it'll be sad. These children have to go to school and they're getting teased. Hey, your daddy left you. Here, your daddy's over there on the other side of the pond. Them kids will turn up. They'll end up acting crazy like the damn daddy. Just saying. That's a lot to deal with, because that's the thing about life is we all have problems, but they don't have to play out on the news, social media. So just like whatever I share with you on here about my own journey, I don't have to share it. But do I want it on the nighttime news? Probably not. But if this video goes viral, or a video goes viral where I'm talking about my life, it can make the news. Hey, there's a lady in Tennessee. She's talking about what it's like to be dating at 53. Blah, blah, blah. You understand what I'm saying? Her life is playing out on the news because he attempted to fake his death. Now he's made contact with law enforcement. They said they found the woman who had a Russian accent. How they did that, I don't know. Probably through his data. She must have notified him. Hey, they're looking for you. They're looking for you. You need to call them. And he did. And he said he's not coming back. So, Wisconsin police, let the queen talk to you. Let it go. You want to sue him for the money you used to search for him? Cool. But if he's not in a country that will extradite him, you're going to have to chalk that money. And what would be even more sad, they try to sue the lady for the money. Bingo card. Bet y'all don't think about that. Imagine suing the wife for the money, for the resources to look for her husband. Oh, I'd be pissed off. I would be pissed off. I'm not paying you a damn dime. He's alive. Go find him. You go find him. I'm not paying you nothing. Child support. Well, Godric, how's she going to get it? He's in a foreign country, sweetheart. How are they going to get anything from him? He's gone. They don't even know where he is. You can't sue somebody. It's easier to sue if they know you're in the country where you're suing. They don't even know where he is. So it's just a piece of paper. It doesn't matter. The judge renders this for the city, the town, her alimony, child support. It's going to be like trying to get blood from a turnip. He is not in America. He is gone. You can't sue and you can't serve the papers. So it's just going to be, la la land. Well, Heidi, she probably can now, since he has shown he's abandoned her and left her. So she's got that tape. So she could take that to a judge and ask for a speedy divorce and to have anything in her name, anything that they had put in her name, such as the house, the mortgage. But see, we don't even know what their situation is, if they owned their house, if they lived in an apartment. See, we don't know any of that. You got to think about, if her name's on a deed, can she afford to make the note? Because maybe his income was paying the note. So you got to think about all that. Best thing she can do is set up a GoFundMe for herself. Set a goal of how much money she thinks she'll need to get on her feet. Because naturally, you don't want people to start talking junk like, well, I ain't trying to take care of that woman just because her husband left. She's going to have to get out here and do it like other single women. That is true too. Women are left every day. Women are raising children every day without a husband, without a boyfriend. Women are out here making babies. Let's keep it real. Single women are out here screwing and making children, knowing they need a husband. But that's the point. You can have a husband. It's no guarantee he's going to stick around. There's no guarantee he's going to be a good husband. pay bills, carry his weight. You hear those stories of women who are married and their husbands don't do SHIT. They don't want to work. They don't want to do nothing. She is now in that position. She is now a woman with children and no husband. He's alive, but he's not with her. He's left the country. So she has a serious wake-up call. And I'm sure she cries herself to sleep every night. But then again, she might be the type, the hell with him. I'm glad he's gone. Now I know I'm moving on up to the east side. She might be singing, I'm glad he gone. See, we don't really, because we don't know her. We know what he's done, but we don't know the circumstances, what their marriage was like. We don't know if she was a mean wife, if he was a mean husband. I'm not here to say either one was good or bad. All I'm saying, he took the coward's way out. This is an extreme case of ghosting. Don't get Queen talking about that. Woo! I definitely gonna testify this week. But you understand what I'm saying? This is an extreme case of ghosting someone. How you gonna ghost me and I'm your damn wife? You understand? He got gone. This is giving ghosting a whole new meaning. I couldn't imagine not raising my kids with or without a wife, okay? He'll be looking over his shoulder for the rest of his life as he should, okay? Yes, he is gone. How long did she think he was dead? Well, once they got information, I guess through his data and, doing their investigation, the investigation led them to realize he's alive. Because this little gadget here and this little gadget I'm sitting in, it doesn't erase everything. This little computer, this walkie-talkie here, everything don't get erased. Sadly, your computers, your phones still hold storage, still holds things you were doing and searching. He's been caught. That's all. The truth is out now. He went missing in the summer, so it's been a few months. But the extreme tactics, taking a kayak out onto the water at night, I would not recommend that. Paddling back in a child's floatable kayak is what he did to make it look like he fell over in the big boy kayak. He parked his bike somewhere, I'm assuming near where shore was, and rode the bicycle into town to catch a bus. He then took the bus out of Detroit into Canada. So you go through that tunnel, you go through Windsor, Canada, and work your way on up. And then he caught a flight somewhere in Canada. Poof, he disappeared. Exactly. All planned. Now that's the question. How long did he plan this fraud, this escape? Because what's going to be sad is if they go back in his data and they can track his movements 6 months, 9 months, 1 year. That means this lady was walking around kissing and loving and playing house with this man who was planning his escape. Like I said, I don't know what problems they had. It has to be something for you to just go hook up with some woman and then leave. You can hook up with a woman right in Wisconsin, New York, Chicago. Overseas, foreign place, it's dangerous. Europe is beautiful, but do I want to live there? I can run away right here in America. If I was to run away from my life right now, it wouldn't be to Europe. It'd be to another place in the United States. I like America. Not running to Europe. Hell no. Because they do things differently over there than what they do here. And you need to think about all that. You need to think about that when you're visiting places. London, Ireland, Iraq, the islands, wherever you're going. What they do there, they don't do here, and vice versa. So who knows what his mindset was that got him in this situation? If he went looking for another woman, he went looking for a foreign woman, or he just went on the internet looking for a little kitty cat or some affection, and then one thing led to another. He got wrapped up, and then he just started plotting. I don't know how it went. All I know, he's gone, and I don't see him coming back. And Wisconsin police, you need to let it go. Don't ask him to come back because he's a grown man. This is his journey. These are decisions he made. The only person that needs to be talking to him about coming back is his wife. She wants her husband back. She has every right to try to find him to ask him to come back. That's her journey, not mine. Frankly, I would tell him, if I see your ass, I'm going to run your ass over. You'd embarrass the hell out of me. Because you done went through all this just to leave me and these kids. And I'm talking junk right now. But I would move on. If I had to cry myself to sleep every night, then that's what I'd have to do. Because I'm sure this woman is devastated. And we got to pray also she has a mindset to where she don't harm herself or harm her kids because she's embarrassed and she's left now with these kids to take care of. Because she's got to walk around Wisconsin, everybody knowing her husband tried to fake his death and left them. That's embarrassing. People calling your phone, worrying the hell out of you, news people wanting to talk to you. She's going to make some money. He left her. She's $1 million story right now. Hey, it's all about the money, is it not? Netflix, Lifetime, A&E, TV show, documentary. She's paid in stone already. So that $375,000 he took and whatever else he took as far as money and stocks and bonds and move stuff, she's already going to have some money in her pocket. Trust me. Because somebody's going to set up a GoFundMe for her. Somebody's going to reach out to her to do a documentary, a story, a book. She ain't going to never have to worry about taking care of her children and herself ever again. Because he just handed her a free meal ticket. So, ma'am, you can thank that loser for your upcoming income because everybody's going to be knocking at your door, wanting to do a story, docuseries, so on and so forth. Then they'll be wanting you to walk around the country doing speaking engagements. And you know you can charge a lot of money to speak in public forums about how I was duped by my loser husband. So your husband has helped you make some money, ma'am. You'll probably never have to work another day in your life. Just saying. I'm going to check out of here. I'm almost at the top of the 2 hours, but I thank you all for following this network. Kind of branched off on other topics this evening, but check out the Court TV segment on the girl who killed her friend in Alaska. She currently gave an interview to Court TV why she murdered her friend. They were teenagers at the time. The Menendez brothers will not get a hearing until the end of January 2025. Governor is signing off on freeing the men, but they have a new district attorney. He doesn't want to override his decision. So the decision now will weigh upon the shoulders of the new district attorney. Also, Lyle Menendez's wife, they are separated. She put up a post this month on Facebook and said they had been separated for a while. Most people are going to say, honey, you're already separated. What the hell are you talking about? You're already separated. You've been separated 20-something years. What the hell are you talking about? So take the poll pertaining to Lyle and his wife, Miss Sneed. And Sean Puffy Combs did not get a hearing of bail today, a decision, but later this week, the judge will make a decision if he will free Sean Puffy Combs on this $50 million bail and security to watch him in his New York apartment. And that's the one stipulation, that if bail is to be rendered, he has to stay in the New York demographic. What a mess. Also, that was said about him, new commentary, that he also threatened his co-workers and people that worked with him, worked under him. He was violent to them. That's the latest information coming out. Other people making allegations that work with him or work under him, that he was very violent with them, threatened them, pushed, shoved. And once again, most of the allegations that are being made in this indictment by the government is from Cassie Ventura, if you did not know that. He is also free to go to court shackle-free, no shackles on his ankles. Also, the state is saying he's maneuvering from behind the jail, using others' accounts, trying to get his children to appease to the public, future jury, wishing him happy birthday on social media. They have notes stating him saying, all I need is one juror. So he's orchestrating a plan. But now the issue are the notes that he says were legal. Did the government and that jail seize documents that violated his civil rights? That's the latest. Poor girl, she looks so nice. What girl are you talking about, Gigi? Heidi. Oh, God. Point to lover, please stop. I think Bounty, Dog, the Bounty has a lot already to deal with. With the current circumstances. Good night, Gigi. Thank you. You last night. Say what, Heidi? Well, I'm going to get out of here. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below this video. Check my community page for updates. Going to probably do 2 shorts before I check in tonight. Follow me in the Newsbreak app. And if you'd like to donate to this great network, $BigAngie 129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are always welcome during the live stream. Multifaceted live. We talked about different subject matters. But prayers for the family of the man who unalived himself because he couldn't find his daughter in Los Angeles. She is still missing. When I get an update to that story, I'll bring you that story. Check out my last videos pertaining to the girl who tried to sell her baby on Facebook and this crazy man who left his wife and kids in Wisconsin to go be with another woman over in Europe. And he cashed out a $375,000 life insurance policy. Yikes. Good night, everybody. Wasn't your video at the club last night? No, I didn't go out last night. Last night was Sunday. Saturday, girl, Saturday. I went out Saturday. I was going to say, huh, the club? No. I was here at the house trying to watch some TV because I have not been watching TV for looking at this device all the time and notifications. So I'm going to also put up The Ritual Killer so you can check that out if you like thrillers. Morgan Freeman and this Mr. I can't think of his first name, but his last name is Haas, I think. He's an actor that's been in a lot of movies. And it's a good movie. If you like a little bit of action and a thriller. Yes, he plays a professor of African studies in Mississippi. And this cop detective comes to him needing his help because they have a serial killer on the loose. It's pretty good. It's a little but it's pretty good. Movie of the week. The Eyes of Laura Mars. This movie came out in the 70s. It is an awesome movie. I tell you where to go watch it because I couldn't find a free one on YouTube. You'll have to pay for it or rent it. YouTube or other Fandango or Apple TV, whatever. It's an awesome movie. The cinematography is awesome. I love movies from the 70s and 80s. This month is my tribute to the 70s and 80s. So I've recommended wonderful movies such as Fatal Attraction, Eyes of Laura Mars, To See with Goldie Hawn, taking you back in time. Because really those were the best movies from the 70s and 80s. So this week's suggestion is The Eyes of Laura Mars, starring Faye Dunaway and Tommy Lee Jones. Two fine actors. Good night, everybody. Thank you for following this network. I will bring you more. Primal Fear is good too. I'll bring you more stimulating content. I don't know what else I'm going to talk about, but before Thanksgiving, I'm going to read the results for the Christmas. My Christmas questions. I might do that one tomorrow because I'm asking you all about shopping and what you're buying and who you're buying for. So I might do it, tomorrow because Thanksgiving is Thursday and everybody will be eating turkey and doing stuff Thursday. And I'll probably go out Wednesday night to get prepped for, I don't really have any plans, but I think I'm going to, I definitely want to go out Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So, because a lot of people probably come out, they'll be coming in from out of town and they'll all meet up at our little chicken place. So, okay. And also I gave you the update about the lady in Florida that killed the black neighbor. She's now been sentenced to 25 years in prison, Susan Lawrence. And the Menendez brothers update, Sean Puffy Combs update. And check out these videos I watched by this lady. Her name is Taryn Maria. She gives you tips on how to declutter your house, ways to keep your bathroom clean, your countertops clean, declutter your kitchen. She has some good tips. I always say the best way to keep your house clean is not to have a lot of stuff. And that's why I posted that question on the comment today. Clean out your cupboards, pantries, attics, garages. This is the season to do it. In case you want to bring in new things for Christmas, such as TVs, TV stands, furniture, new refrigerators, whatever you're going to get, your husband's going to buy you. This is the perfect time to say, let's go through the attic, the garage, the closet, under the bed, closets, cupboards. Go through and throw that stuff out, dated stuff, broke stuff, donate stuff that can be donated or give it away or sit it at the curb or sit outside your house. Less is more. You don't need all this stuff. You don't need 50 bottles of shampoo. I'm working on that. Not having a lot of toiletries in the bathroom, all of that. I hate clutter. I hate looking through stuff. I'm very ornery like that. I don't like looking through stuff. I said that the other day when I was looking through my little junk container that has screwdrivers and cords. I told myself yesterday I could take all of it and just throw it in a garbage can. I'm sick of looking at it. You said, what? I love to throw stuff. I want to be like the little guy with the tray table and the TV. You don't need all this stuff. And that's the one thing I love about when I get up. I don't have a lot of stuff to fool with and stumble over because I put everything up. I keep everything to a minimum. Dishes, silverware, drinking cups, glasses. I try not to have all that kind of stuff because I'm in a very small place. I don't have room for nothing. So I can't even go out here and shop if I wanted to. I don't have anywhere to put anything. Literally, I don't. I have nowhere to put nothing. Oh, yeah, and the lady that killed her 2 children in Kentucky, her 2, I believe it was 2 sons, she's been found guilty as well. Check out this video on my community page pertaining to the 911 call pertaining to Patsy Ramsey. We discussed that during this live, so feel free to go back. Also, people who were being evicted from a trailer park in Arizona. I want you to check that out because I did talk about that in my video last night. Could you live in a trailer park? Could you pay a lot fee for a trailer that you own? It's a hustle within a hustle. So check out that video from last night and this video of people who were being evicted from a mobile park in Arizona. It's very good content. They proved the point that I was making. You can own your trailer, but what good is it if I have to pay you a lot fee every month? And then one day you look up, I look up and you tell me, hey, I'm selling the property or the property's being seized. Now I got to figure out what I'm going to do with this damn trailer. So take the polls about trailer park living. Would you do it? Not do it? All right. So all my questions are about Christmas gifts, Christmas shopping. Who are you going to buy for? God, I got a whole lot of questions. Jesus. Are you buying a lot of gifts for Christmas this Christmas? If so, for whom? 9 of you answered. I'll do that video tomorrow. What is your mental state this holiday season? Drop your comments. Where are you going to chime down? Are you cooking, eating out? Drop your comments. And check out my video on Seth Rogers. Very good content. And take the questions pertaining to Katie and Christopher Proudfoot. Did they implicate Seth in the disappearance of his son? 58% of you said yes. 27% of you said no. 15% of you said you're not sure. Should trailers be allowed as private homes or rented? No, 9%. Yes, 80%. Not sure, 11%. Thank you for those who voted. Can you live or rent in a trailer park or buy it and pay a lot fee to the owner? 6% said neither. Rent only, 4%. Buy it and pay a lot fee, 24%. Both, 66%. Please check out that live from yesterday. And Brian Korberger wants his evidence thrown out. Do you agree? 27% of you said yes. I'm praying for whoever that is. 61% no. 11% not sure. Sumner County, do they have any leads in Sebastian's case? 11% yes. 59% no. 16% not sure. 13% possibly a few. 4 tips to the dog bounties tip line. Have people been calling in fake tips? 73% yes, 6% no, 16% not sure, 5% 50-50. And did Sumner County investigate new Sebastian Rogers tip about, him being seen at the hotel? 17% of you think the Sumner County did investigate. 55% of you said no, 28% of you said not sure. Did the person call 911 first about the tip? 12% yes, 53% no, 32% not sure. Another show I want you to check out on the Roku channel, Empty Nest Refresh. This is a show about children wanting to gift their parents with a room makeover because they feel like their parents have been so good to them and they want to pay it forward and repay the favor for having the support from their loving parents. Empty Nest Refresh. Now free on the Roku channel. Oh, Godric, please. Today is the 25th of November, so you know what tomorrow is. The 26th. That will mark 9 months to the date those people called 911 to say that Sebastian Rogers was missing from Hendersonville, Tennessee. I will come back and do a live pertaining to Sebastian tomorrow, and then I'll do one for the Christmas questions and your answers on the polls pertaining to who you're going to buy for, where you're going to shop, not shop. We'll do the Christmas video tomorrow and the Sebastian Rogers video tomorrow. She's filed an appeal. Well, that's expected. Okay, thank you. Well, that's that. Going to do 2 shorts. Look forward to watching them right now after I shut down this computer. Thank you for joining me. Oh, Lord, look at this. Why is Bené's Ramsey murder still unsolved? Re-examining the child pageant queen's death almost 30 years later. People is the source of that information. Matter of fact, we can throw John Benet in with Sebastian Rogers as well. We'll just do a 2-for-1 tomorrow and get it over with. Thank you for your time. You all have a wonderful night. Be safe. If you see something, say something. Be a part of the solution, not the problem. Mind the children. Prayers for Sebastian Rogers. Prayers for this family where the father unalives himself, searching for his daughter from Hawaii, praying that she's also found. Praying for the woman whose husband has left her and her children in Wisconsin. Praying the city can get their money back for searching for him. Praying for all missing children and adults. Whew. And prayers for Queen. 2 hours long, good Lord. Thank you, honey. Thank you. Walk the street. She's so nasty to hurt a beautiful baby. Yeah, well, she's not going anywhere, Gottschalk. So we don't have to worry about her. She's one less headache that we don't even have to venture and worry. She ain't going nowhere. And it's a wrap. She needs to accept where she is. Matter of fact, she can pretend she's Susan Smith. Because that's the only place she's going to get some nookie is in the penitentiary. I said that. I'm out of here. Thank you for listening to the Vault XL.